Welcome back to Power Lunch. Time now for Tech Check. UBS today downgrading Alphabet shares to neutral from a prior buy, saying the stock has limited upside and monetizing AI will be difficult in the near term. So let's bring in Lloyd Walmsley, the analyst making that call. Lloyd, the Alphabet shares have been a powerhouse. They've been kind of generally helping the old communication services sector do that thing that it does so well in growth times. This is as much a valuation call, right? I mean, there's not much left in the tank, but it's not a bad stock.
Yeah, I think that's fair characterization. The stock hit our target. We looked through our model. We've been doing lots of work on this space. We found, we think there's upside to 132, 7% upside. It's not enough to sustain the buy. And when we look at other stocks we cover, Amazon being one, Meta being another, we think they have more clean plays on generative AI that are clearly positive. Whereas with Alphabet, there's still some things that could move the other way against them related to this trend, at least in the near term. So we wanted to step to the sidelines and instead focus our bullish energy on Meta and Amazon.
Okay, so we're going to get to that in just a moment here. The fact that you even bring up Meta and Amazon in the context of Alphabet when it comes to things like generative AI suggests, almost points directly to a competition element. And that is probably one of the center points of your thesis about this kind of move to the sidelines. Take us through that competitive dynamic and what sticks out to you the most with regard to Alphabet versus Meta versus Amazon.
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think when this theme first came about, most people were worried about ChatGPT and then Bing taking query share from Google. And I think after Google's I/O conference keynote, people felt a lot better that we saw the product coming out of Google. It looked very good. They integrated a lot of their other assets into it. But what's interesting that has started to give us a little bit of concern is looking at what Snap has rolled out in terms of an AI chatbot, and then hearing about what Meta's planning to roll out. You actually could see that as kind of a new risk on the radar competitively. And I don't think this is something people are really talking about yet, but I think it's going to become more problematic as part of the narrative around Alphabet over the next few months. And so while I think a lot of people priced in limited competitive risk from this point, we don't think they're totally out of the woods yet.
Lloyd, it's Kelly. Can you just explain to me how generative AI helps Meta in the metaverse specifically, which I don't want to go so far as to say doesn't exist yet, but
Yeah, I don't think it's that interesting for the stock anytime soon as it relates to the metaverse. What the company has talked about is it will be easier to to build out new universes using generative AI in the metaverse. So there are some interesting applications, but not ones that we think of as needle moving for the stock for Meta anytime soon.
Now, when it comes to this, as a layperson, when I think of like the artificial intelligence, generative AI stuff that we've been talking about, the first thing that came to mind, and it was years ago, was voice assistants, right? We had Siri for Apple. We had Alexa. Every time I think of generative AI, I think of Alexa because I ask Alexa for everything right now, just like I say OK or Hello Siri or OK Google. Is it now a race for these megas to solidify what that next chapter of generative AI is supposed to be, but beyond just a chatbot or a voice assistant? I mean, Microsoft had Cortana. We don't really hear about her anymore.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think a lot of those technologies ended up being disappointing. I mean, my young kids love their Alexas. I don't really use it for a lot, but I think when you start to use, the new Bing, ChatGPT, some of these technologies, even Snapchat's My AI, they're actually pretty helpful. And I think there will be a lot of people using these. There already are a lot of people using these. And what I think is likely to happen is there will be verticalization of these. You'll have different chatbots for different use cases, and that's one of the risks for Google. I think they've done a good job with vertical search, kind of not letting that get away from them. But I think it may be harder here, given the players involved, the players who are developing technology here. But more than anything, it's just we just don't know yet, and that I think you have to factor that into the multiple.
All right, Lloyd Walmsley at UBS with the downgrade of Alphabet to neutral from buy. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon.